Hello, hello. So today I wanted to swatch out some Birmingham Penco inks with you guys. As you can tell from my voice, it's a little husky. I've been quite sick for the last couple of almost months now, but I really wanted to swatch these out with you guys, and I've been dying to try them. So you just have to excuse my voice. I'm sorry if it sounds terrible. Anyway, so let's get on with this, which is going to be super fun. So I ordered these quite a while ago, and I have 6 inks for us to try today. So let's open these up and have a look. All right, so the first one is Pensylvania Slate. Oh, wow. Yeah, tealish blue. That's delicious. All right, let's see. So this is, I'm just going to write Birmingham Penco as BPC, so I don't have to write it out every time. Why is my glass pen not? There we go. BPC. And this one is Pensylvania Slate. So kind of like a deep bluish teal color, more green than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a little more blue. I actually bought this because I want to eventually make some mixes of my own, because these bottles are humongous. I don't know if you could see it from this, but it's 100 mils. It's gigantic. So I bought the set that came with, I think, a blue, a green, an orange, and a pink. Oh no, it didn't come with the blue. Sorry, this is the one I bought. Duh. So this is why I decided to get a blue, because I wanted to kind of use it for mixing. But this leans a little greener than I thought, but it's still going to be great. So the other one that I got by itself is called Pensylvania Fieldstone. So we have Pensylvania Slate and Pensylvania Fieldstone. This ink is probably familiar to a lot of you. This one's been around for a long time and has been a favorite of many people. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. It's kind of like a troublemaker ink, actually. Kind of like kelp tea in the way that it has this muddy color and then a bit more of a vibrant color here. And this is changing as we speak. Maybe I'll just let it change and not talk, and I'll speed it up. All right, I got bored of just sitting here, so we'll let that dry naturally as we go on. But as you can see, it's kind of going from this muddy, dirty brown color to this gorgeous pink, and there's a bunch of shading in there. I'll show close-ups of these when they're all dry, but super interesting color. I have always admired it when people have been using it, so I am excited to get that into a pen. I'm not sure if it will be good for mixing, just because it is sort of a muddy color already, but yeah, super interesting. All right, so the next 4 are colors that came in like a bundle deal. So the first one is Aqueduct. I'll show you this gorgeous bottle. And this one is a green, I believe. Whoa, oh wow. Yeah, so that's like a bright tealish green. Definitely has some blue in there, not a primary green there, but really quite lovely. Does anybody's handwriting change like all the time? I mean, look at my B here and my B there. I can never stick to how I write my letters. It's kind of frustrating, and I think it makes my handwriting kind of look messy. Because I think the more consistent your letters are, the better your handwriting looks to me. And mine's just all over the place. I think it's kind of because I'm a left-hander too, and I never know whether to be an overwriter. I tend to overwrite with the glass nib, but then I tend to underwrite with a fountain pen. So I'm a mess. But that's okay. All right, so that one is a gorgeous tealish green. The next one is called Abandoned Shipyard. And on the website, this looks a little sort of grayish brown. But in the bottle, I can see it's looking actually a little green. So let's see what it actually is. Oh yeah, that's green too. That's cool. That is a beautiful color, but nothing what I... Oh, and it's changing. It's kind of changing brown. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was expecting. But on the website, it looks much darker. It almost looks like a very dark grey. So this is kind of surprising. And I think that is what happens with these inks. I've seen a bunch of people swatching them and they look different to the website, and they also kind of look different to each other depending on who's swatching it. It could be the light, it could be cameras and stuff like that, but they are kind of different to what you might expect from what you see the swatches on the site. So that is a delightful color. I really like it. It's a muddy greenish grey color, sort of shifting from that more foresty green to a bit more of a brownish green, but quite lovely. And this one is called Abandoned Shipyard. It's a fantastic name, isn't it? Abandoned. And I don't think I'm actually dyslexic, but I have a hard time sometimes, and I tend to transpose my letters or skip to the next letter and leave out a letter. I do that all the time, and I don't know why my brain does that. I do it when I'm typing too, like I'll forget to type the H in the, or I'll switch around the N and the A for and. Do you guys have those issues, or am I alone in this? I think my brain is just thinking of a bunch of different things at the same time and it gets distracted. Talking of distraction, let's go on to the next one. So the next one is Magnolia Mirage. Now I've actually seen a couple of people swatch this out, and I'm excited to see because I think it's similar to Pensylvania Fieldstone, but it looked a little more vibrant. So let's move this paper up, make sure you can see it. Oh yeah, oh wow, that is quite bright. Much lighter than I thought too, actually. So it does have that kind of grayish, murky tone in there. But definitely way, I don't know if you can see these two on the same screen. There we go. Like this is Pensylvania Fieldstone and this is the Magnolia Mirage. And this is almost a neon pink. Very interesting. We'll see how it dries, because they tend to shift a lot as they dry. Look at that Abandoned Shipyard. Can you guys see that? It's so yummy. It has like these deep, really vibrant greens in here and then sort of brownish colors. I love that color. Not what I was expecting at all. I thought it was going to be a gray, but I really quite like it. All right, so this one is Birmingham Pen Co. Magnolia Mirage. And then Mirage. Oh, and I just decided to go the other direction with those two, so I'll try and try and change it up here. Oh, wow, look at this. It's got some deep sort of violet color coming in here. These are fascinating. And then in the writing, it kind of is not a ton of shading, but we'll wait till it dries. We won't judge it yet. Okay, and the last one is Ceramic Kiln. So this is kind of an orange, a sort of a burnt orange yellow, I believe. Like terracotta, I think. It's on the website. What is that color? That is nothing like the website. That is almost the same as well, no, it's kind of between these two. What color is that? I think they made a mistake with labeling that. I will put in editing, I will show you what it's supposed to look like, because that is nothing like the website. That's a little confusing. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a beautiful color, but that is nothing like what is on the website. I believe they're like a two-man show, so maybe they just mixed up the labeling on this. I'll reach out to them, because not that I don't love this color, I do, but I was really hoping for a orangey yellow color so that I could mix these a little better. So let's put down Birmingham Pen Company, and let's do maybe Ceramic Kiln, because I don't think this is the right color. So I will reach out to them and see whether that is the right color. Yeah, maybe I will wait and we'll get back to you. In editing, this will seem like the same day, but I might wait to finish this off to see whether they're actually going to send me a different one or if this is what it's supposed to look like. So I will see you guys soon. Okay, so it has been about a week since I did this swatching. I actually reached out to the guys over at Birmingham Penco and said that this color looked a little different. Well, very, very different. It's supposed to be kind of an orangey yellow color. And I sent them photos and they said, yeah, it looks odd. They checked their formula and they said the formula for this ink is correct, but they said they would send me out a new bottle just in case, because they did admit that this was not ceramic kiln. So I'm not sure if this was just, I guess it's just mislabeled. I think all their formulas are correct, so this might be an existing ink. To me, it kind of looked a little bit like chrysanthemum online, but I think it's the correct formula but maybe mislabeled. They didn't really let me know, but this one definitely looks more orange in the bottle, so I'm super excited. I think this is actually the right color, which is great, and they're so lovely over at Birmingham Penco. If you have any issues, they try and resolve it as fast as they can, and they sent this out once they got my message. There was a couple of days and then they sent it right out, so really lovely. Yeah, and so let's swatch it out and maybe we can try and figure out between us all what this mystery ink is. If you want me to send you like a milliliter of this, we could do an ink swap. If you have any other Birmingham Penco inks that you want to trade with me, I could also just throw in a mill of this and we can try and compare it to other inks that you have and see what it might be. So that would be kind of fun. Okay, so let's swatch this out and see if it is the correct color. Yep, so just opening the bottle, I can see it's a completely different color. Where should we do it? Let's just do it down here. Oh, yes. Yep, so that is a completely different color and very orangey brown, peachy, almost peachy where it's drying. Oh, this is an interesting color. I mean, all their colors are really interesting, but oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, that is a drastically different color. Oops, I gotta write what it is. And I think this is the actual color of ceramic kiln, just a little different to this mystery ink. But how fun that they let me keep that one too. That was so lovely. So now I have a gorgeous mystery ink and ceramic kiln as well. So along with these guys, I did, let me put the lid on so I don't spill 100 milliliters of ink. That would be terrible. I did also buy their dilution solution. So I think I'm going to try diluting some of these and see what it looks like. I'll probably do that in another video. I'm going to play around with mixing some of these together and diluting some. So yeah, I'll play with this in another one, but it's quite a big bottle. This is 120 mils, so these guys are 100 mils. And then they also have the little 60 mil ones. So yeah, I'll play around with this and get back to you guys, but let's wait for this to dry and then we'll have a look at them up close. Okay, so here are all these swatches nice and dry. So our first one is Pensylvania Slate. So it's this gorgeous dark tealish blue. Then we have Pensylvania Fieldstone, which is a grayish pink color. It actually is looking a little darker on camera, but it is quite light, like a light pink. Then we have Aqueduct, which is this vibrant tealish green here, and it has a little bit more of a forest green in the oversaturated part, but then it kind of pulls out into a more of a bluish green. And we have Abandoned Shipyard, which I thought was going to be more of a gray, but this is definitely a muddy green color. And in the text here, it's quite dark. I am thinking once we get it into a pen, it's probably going to be lighter, so the green will come through a lot more. The glass nibs tend to put down a lot of ink and sometimes can be a little bit more like this rather than what it writes like in a fountain pen. We got the Magnolia Mirage, which is a very vibrant pink. I'm not sure if it's actually showing up so much on the camera, but it is really quite bright, very sort of Barbie pink. It's looking more purple here. I have seen this swatched on other people's channels and it is a lot darker. I think Scientifically Engineered might have sampled this one and hers looked quite different. I'll put her link in the description below. You got to check out her channel. She does some really great swatching with a big sort of decorative round nib and just really shows the colors really well. And she has a ton of different Birmingham Penco inks, so you can check her out. Yeah, so that one is really interesting and quite vibrant. And then we have our mystery ink, which I don't know what that is, but it's kind of in between the Pensylvania Fieldstone and the Magnolia Mirage. That one you can't really get your hands on unless it is one of the existing colors, but I don't know what it is, but it's lovely. And then we have the correct ceramic kiln, which actually dried quite brown. So this is sort of like a really golden honey brown. It's quite delightful. It has a bunch of haloing in the text here. When you lay it down quite thick, you can see that gorgeous variation in the shading here. What other one does that? The Pensylvania Fieldstone does that a little bit too. So yeah, and then this one shades really nicely, the Pensylvania Slate. So yeah, I got to get these in a fountain pen and have a look at them, and I'm going to do another video just mixing a couple of these together because they are all Keystone. They're not the base Keystone colors that they have that you can mix together, but you can mix these together. They have on their website that you can use them alone or make your own kind of combos. So that's why I wanted to get this little set here and I added the Pensylvania Slate in, so I had a blue. So we have like a blue, or we have cyan, magenta, and yellow muddy versions of them, but we should be able to get some interesting mixes with those. Yeah, and then we've got a blue just to add that in too. This green might be a little bit too heavy to change, but yeah, I think I'm gonna play around with these and see, and definitely play with this dilution solution. I think because some of these are quite dark, this will really help to lighten our mixes up. So yeah, I'll do another video on that and we'll have a look at that fun. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope this was informative or fun, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.